Ladies and gents, best of 5 here, and this is a best of 5 decider in Warlords 2. A mixed map tourney. The winner here will move on to the quarterfinal. The loser will unfortunately be out. The storylines are as follows. Both of these players have won 2 sets and lost 2 sets in the Swiss stage, and they've looked fantastic at times. DauT, I think that the greater storyline here was up 2-1 on Hera, lost 3-2. Was then up 2-1 on Leary, and then lost 3-2. And so there, have been even other examples prior to this tourney, like Titans League Season 3, where he was up 2-1 versus Tato, and then lost 3-2. DauT looks fantastic at times. His strategy is top tier, but sometimes the execution and the consistency isn't there. And he's up against Mr. Consistent Villese. And Villese is 5-2 against DauT in tournaments all time. Villese should be the favorite, but we've got a whole lot of DauT fans who believe in him today. And it should be a 6 series, all right? The map is 4 lakes. Villese has gone for the Byzantines, and this is a civ that is incredibly strong on this type of map. The faster working fires means in a 1v1 fire galley war, they are winning that battle. The cheaper Imperial Age gives them lots of potential there. The extra vision they get on their buildings due to Town Watch and Town Patrol coming in each age. The extra HP on their buildings. All these things play a large role in this map. But look at DauT. Look at DauT starting this series with a bang. And that's going to be a villager dead there for Villese. And that's like one of those things that on this map is very rare for pro players not to have built a palisade around their dock villager. And DauT, he had prepped the palisade, so thinking about all the tiny details, has the villager lead right now. But let's talk about DauT Civ. So, people are going to have to let me know if there's Navy bonuses with the Georgians that I'm forgetting, okay? Because the Civ's still new, but what I can tell you is they start with the mule cart, okay? And the mule cart, specific to the Georgians and the Armenians, and it is a lumber camp or a mining camp. So DauT will probably make a new one for gold, for example, but the weakness of the Georgians is that they have minus 50 food due to starting with their mule cart. But this is a 9 villager start. And this tournament has not made any changes to compensate for the 9 villager start. So for example, Chinese, this is a 9 villager start. They'd start with a 12 villager start. And they still just have the standard minus 200 food, which is why Chinese have just been insane, because it's easier for them to get their food back. And it should be a similar thing here with the Georgians, I think. So, things to think about, right? Villese already knows, though, based on how this is played out, that DauT is likely docked in the south. Villese scouted the entirety of the shoreline here, very thorough scouting, and is going to sneak a Vil. Now, there is a tiger. The animals are on DauT's side. What is this? It's not going to kill the villager. It will weaken the villager, though. And it will slow down the villager. There's a smart move from Villese, though, to wall this way, which pretty much protects this pond. Fishing ships are so important on this map. Well, Villese obviously bringing the scout over here now to check. And DauT, I think, is placed the fishing ship over here to hopefully scout the dock. We'll see how the timing works out here, because you usually are not really looking. You just click it there and you hope it comes into your vision. But he just got 15 food, so it's going back. And now you see the scout is here. I'm curious if DauT instinctively adds a fire here. The scout is here. You don't have vision on this. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. He's looking, though. Great scouting from DauT. He sees it. So it could obviously be worse for him. Does have to make fire galleys now to defend himself at home. At home, we have a stable for DauT. Those scouts could be used to patrol the rest of the map. And also his scout, which is weak, is slowly regenerating HP, because that is the Georgian bonus. 5 HP per minute in the Feudal Age, 10 HP per minute in Castle, and then 15 in Imp. So that's a nice aspect. Like, having lost HP to attack that villager earlier isn't as big a deal. And obviously, he killed the villager, too. So, it's fantastic. Feels like DauT will know this villager is important to the attack for Villese with the repairs. And DauT's going to kill the Vil! Villese has been real sloppy with some of these tiny details here. Big start for DauT. And what should be an awesome series. Guys, give me 1 second. I forgot to put the Warlords thing up here. There you go. There we go. We are now following the rules. Normally, I'm a rule breaker. It's why the ladies like me, but I got to be a rule follower here, so it's all good. But yeah, now there's no villager to repair. So DauT is going to block with some of his fishing ships, which is smart thinking. That helps him tie up the fire galley HP. And DauT could, in theory, be in a better spot on water. But at the end of the day, Villese is fishing freely at home. And even if Villese doesn't kill more here, Villese still killed something. DauT has yet to do that. Lorraine around here like, okay, Tristan. just joking. Sorry, the lady likes me. That's what I meant to say. So, I would say that Villese has always got potential in this area, and it's something to pay attention to. And he also has walled up his base, so the scouts don't really pay off for DauT. Now, where the scouts should pay off is denying the dock potential. And DauT just a little late to it. I think he was more so thinking about grouping up his scouts to kill villagers in the main eco, not about having individual scouts here. For the love of God, quick wall this one. Thank you. Villese doesn't lose this villager. Could have lost the villager. Gets the walls down, but now we'll add a fire galley there. DauT has expanded over here, though, guys. And he's actually going 2 docks in this pond, so we might see quite a few fishing ships come out. Like, Byzantines are such a tricky civilization to play against. If you just play low-risk Age of Empires with Byzantines, get your walls down, make a couple counter units, usually you're going to be in a good spot. And this dock could eventually go down for Villese. DauT could free him up this pond. But for now, he's fishing heavily on the left side from both those docks. I really like the double dock approach, though. DauT killed 2 vills. Yeah, I know. I showed it. Right? I showed it. Hey, listen. I appreciate you trying to be helpful, but you better be paying attention. All right? Facebook T90 wouldn't have called people out for it, but I'm a new man now. It's all good. Not too much else to talk about right now. Fire galleys desperately go in here. I would have liked to have seen a demo right now. A lot of players will do that. Well, they'll go out with the 2 fires, and then they'll have a demo ready, and it's like, bam, and that can actually help you hold the pond. So I think the forward attack for Villese, considering how easy he got the dock down, it left a lot to be desired there. The villager died. He didn't kill that much. But again, ultimately, I think he'll be pretty happy. What is this from DauT? Some players go for full walls. DauT says, that's not going to happen for me. And has a weird little ring of houses around his base. I remember DauT once made fun of Loey the Legends while he was casting with me. Or not Loey the Legends. He said, how do people watch that? And DauT, right now, I'm looking at that. It's looking pretty cozy. It looks like something I might see on a Tuesday, so maybe DauT has learned. It was a few years ago he said that. Nice kills there from DauT. 9-2 KD for him. He is going to be in Castle Age a bit later, though. And I would expect maybe even a second TC from Villese. DauT could always try and get a villager up here. Just a fire galley there. Could try and kill the fish. For the time being, he's happy to have 2 pawns. And there's stables behind this for Villese. Cheap camels available for Byzantines, which is a counter to stable units, which is most likely what DauT's going to make a lot of. I love the fact that he's hid those stables there. And I also love the fact he's taking out the palisades. He's doing it for his sake, because players will see random dots on the minimap, and they'll instinctively check it. But I cannot tell you how many times as a caster, guys, and you tell me as a viewer, where that has annoyed you because you think, T90, look there! And then I end up looking there myself, and then there's nothing. So thank God for DauT. Thank you for doing that. That's so nice. That's going to make things a whole lot cleaner for our minimap now. All right, so I expect a big old boom from DauT. I expect lots of town centers. That's why he's happy to keep his base as it is right now. Couple scouts here for Villese. Gonna run into spears. And then the scouts from down on the other side. It's a trap! Not really, but I needed to get excited about something. Camels are here. DauT might need to consider some monasteries. The fun thing about the Georgians is that there is an efficiency. There's a ring of efficiency, which sounds kind of cheesy, but there is. Around their fortified churches. So you make the monastery in order to make, the fortified church. Let's get it right. You make it in order to make monks, but also the eco is 10% more efficient around it. So it's 10 tiles, by the way. I double checked after another cast where someone said it was like another number, and I responded to that, and I had it wrong, and I think they had actually just mistyped it. So yeah. So the gold, in theory, a bit more efficient. The wood, all that stuff, more efficient. And it's going to become awkward now for Villese to find damage, because you can hop inside of these things with villagers as well. So gill nets now for DauT. Now he will eventually overfish these ponds quite quickly, and that fish trapping will be important. And that was just a tiger that Villese killed, and we're going late game, folks. Yeah, the churches will fire arrows, but only if they're fully garrisoned, so... And TC number 2 for Villese. Actually, excuse me, that's TC number 3. He squeezed the second one back here. And monks are going to be out and about, and it's probably not a good day to be a monk. Unless you're on DauT's side, apparently. Oh! Oh, my goodness. That was really good blocking from DauT there. Also shifted that conversion here. I mean, DauT's got a 10 eco lead. I do want to check resources collected, but I feel like this isn't the best time to do so. I love the amount of spearmen that DauT has right now. Maybe could do it now. DauT's collected 2,000 more resources. Wow. They don't need to be full garrison. Yeah, sorry. But they fire more arrows if they're fully garrisoned, right? Which is what I meant, but that's not what I said. So I think you can even put one unit inside and there's slight fire. Okay. Yeah, it's exactly like a TC. That's the way to describe it. And DauT's taking some really good fights, and Byzantines don't have an eco bonus, guys. So, if Byzantines not having an eco bonus, it's always been a weakness for them. The strength for them has been the cheap units. KD 14-2 right now for DauT. We're going to see triple monastery for Villese. Villese is like, my monasteries are pretty, but I want mine to shoot arrows. I want to be able to garrison monks in mine. What is this crap? This is a ripoff. DauT's really utilizing the bonuses, though, isn't he? Look at these relics. So, I honestly, I don't mind monk edition here. I think triple monastery is probably a bit extreme, though. These days, everyone loves their monks. The news DauT's going to have them, so he figures why not. And you might think, well, there's light cav out there, but yeah, light cav can die to the camels. So if the camels are in front, you should be okay. And pikes can be converted very easily by monks. And also, it is... I think, actually, the best play would be to go crossbow. Or add your own pikes, but monks are just like, it's faster. Like, right now, you can get 5 units converted. Boom. That does a lot more than 5 archers. DauT just deleted his ships down here. I was wondering what I heard there. And res collected again. It's flying for DauT right now. But look at his upgrades, too. His farm upgrades, his wood upgrades. He's got more vills. This choke point is either going to hurt or help DauT massively throughout this game. I keep seeing it. Feels like this hill's the biggest thing, though. DauT got 5 relics. I think DauT is definitely in the driver's seat on this one. And that's the big thing for him, is like, he unfortunately has had a throw in him every once in a while. And I have grown, like, I think the more I played in tournaments, the more I've strategized over the past 2 years, the more I've actually grown to respect DauT more and more, and really appreciate what the guy brings to the table. And not that I didn't before, but like, had some pretty intense conversation with him after he had lost to Tato 3-2 in TTL. So again, to have seen him then get winning positions on Hera and Leary and lose those series 3-2, it feels like this is a big one for DauT today. Like, it would be a real heartbreaking scenario for him to not move into those quarters. DauT's imping, but an important moment in the game because Vilese's Byzantines with very strong castles will clear out the outpost. Clear out the outpost? That's a fun sentence. And this is going to be a really tough position for DauT to break if this castle goes up. Villese invested a lot into the pike production and the camels, but, you know, again, it's cheap. And I have seen Byzantines win games where they're down by 3 or 4 or 5,000 resources collected. It's not that unheard of. Because you collect resources to make units. Their units are dirt cheap. It feels like DauT's going to struggle to get some momentum unless he has a castle somewhere. And DauT's going to drop his castle here shortly. His base is pretty cluttered. I think a castle here would make sense. And then you could just treb from here. What's Georgian's late game like in this matchup? Well, I think you need to go Halb and Manaspa. Like, the Georgian unique unit is insane. It's just ridiculous. It's a really strong cav unit, but I think they also might get hand cannons. But I think you have to open Halb, at least initially. It's going to take some time to get this, to take out this castle, right? So even if Villese loses it, Villese is now mining some gold back here. He's chilling, making a couple cataphracts as well. DauT with another castle now. And DauT's going to be making skirmishers for the time being. DauT, love the outposting here. This is so valuable. All of this is so valuable. He could start to think a little bit about how he wants to play this. Vilese's villagers going to be found now by DauT. And we're going to see one treb. Second treb should be on the way. Chemistry for DauT, though, means he's thinking bombard cannons. And DauT still has all 5 relics. A couple of villagers going down here or there. DauT is starting to fish trap at the back as well, which is important with the fishing ship numbers. Villese has done the same, though. So that is a very big deal that you kind of just assume players are going to do. But if you're so busy spending wood on buildings and building farms and you're not fish trapping, it could hurt you later. This castle's killed a couple villagers, 7 villagers, but is now starting to be trebbed down. Villese goes for a treb. Now, some players might go conscription there if they think they're eventually going to lose this. He did not. And DauT gained the lead. He has the relics. He collected all these resources. Now what? Well, now he hasn't clicked the lead skirm yet. These are feudal age skirms, boys. You ready for me to hype it up? The strongest feudal age skirms you've seen in all of Warlords. That was not a Memb impression, but that's not exactly what Memb would say. It's more along the lines something I would say. But DauT's got to click a lead skirm. He's got it on the way now. And, I mean, you know, I've liked how Villese has the potential to expand outside of his walls now at home, but it feels like it's still, if the castle goes down, it could be pretty brutal. Monk upgrades coming in for DauT, which could be useful later on. It is full trash for him right now. Banking up gold for other things, mainly the siege right now. That is a Byzantine castle. Still 4,000 HP on that castle. Standard castle HP, 4,800 HP. Byzantine, 6,700. But DauT's had trebs for a long time here. Villese is simply using his trebs to try and take out DauT's trebs. And DauT is going to take this castle down pretty shortly. Uh-oh, big moment. Some of the units for Villese will dive here. His defense for DauT has not been easy, but he gets the job done. Castle's down. And Villese clearly feels like if I lose this hill, I lose the game. I need to stay here. We'll see if that happens. DauT's Manaspa. Go to kill the treb and get the treb. It was the last second there because the Manaspa got converted by the monks. An important moment for DauT, though. Like, every little siege weapon you can kill is going to be huge for you. And Villese is on skirms. Sorry, he's on halbs, but the skirms from DauT are able to do very well against that. I don't think there's much stopping DauT from being able to just take this castle out now as well. If it's anything, it would be this bombard cannon. But DauT research redemption, so he can convert bombard cannons. He's not doing so at the moment. His things got a little sloppy there with the micro, not to mention Manaspa from before are attacking him, but he converts the bombard cannon, and now his Trebs could freely do the job. The job the Trebs were meant to do. Not to Treb down other Trebs, but to take out a castle here. And Byzantines are so good at countering civilizations. There's so much known about the Byzantines, but the Georgians are new. It's a new DLC. There's a lot of bonuses that are going to need to be tweaked by the devs over time and figured out by the players. But whether or not you think this is due to the insane economy or the insanity of DauT, the reality is we're here because DauT played this civ. He's played this game so well so far. But there is a shot. As Villese takes one Treb, there is a chance. As Villese is going to take another. Villese is still Byzantines. The castle's still standing. He's out of stone. No more stone. Ah! Castle's still up. DauT's not really able to push anywhere else because this castle's existence. Another bombard cannon rolls in. The monks are there for it, though. So the bombard cannon has to roll away. DauT's still repairing these Trebs. Another monk for DauT goes for a cannon, but the cannons get pulled back. Out of stone again is Villese. The monks for DauT are going to die to the castle fire if he's not careful. And the cannons are coming back for more. Castle's going to be able to survive quite a few more volleys. Villese's made it tough for his base to be hit here. He gets the Treb. He backs away. The monks don't get conversions. Villese has atonement. Villese can convert the monks from DauT. DauT is falling apart. It's happening again. In the north, you've got some units from DauT. Maybe he can find some value here. But Villese is actually holding. Manaspa, 1, 2, 3. Can they get conversions here? These monks from Villese. He's got conversions. He's now got units to go in against DauT's Trebs. And the castle goes down. Thank God for DauT, the castle goes down, because I'm sure he's starting to sweat right now. I'm sure it's getting pretty chilly in Serbia, but oh my goodness. I'd be sweating so much. This is still a wide open game, guys. At the end of the day, the hill for Villese is still controlled. He's still got gold income. He's still got stone income. DauT hasn't really been able to use the sides. DauT's distracted. He had army in the north. That just got cleared up by Halbs. The score is closer. And DauT is making a trade card. Which again, I said this like last week. Everyone's misclicking a trade card from their market. It's when they go to the market, they accidentally click it. So there's the trade card. I wonder if the patches did this. Because every time I've misclicked, every time I've done that, I just assumed it was because I have a hotkey that's weird. You know? Anyways, DauT's going to have a trade card here in a second. It kind of looks like his mule card, so that might be confusing for him. But that is just a bit of a waste of resources. And what a hold from Villese, guys. I thought DauT was going to win the game. So many people were probably thinking when Villese dropped this castle, what a foolish castle it was, right? Wow. The monks have found value. The Halbs have found value. And you have cheap skirmishers of your Byzantines too. So you have you have the better upgrades too. So you just have the better units. DauT's Manaspa haven't really accomplished much except run into Halbs here. And I'm concerned for him. Like, usually what happens is Byzantines can realistically hold an army count of 80 or 90. And no, it's a DauT castle. The Halbs find the villagers. Now, Halbs, they are pointy boys, but they're not like that pointy, you know? So it's just a mild inconvenience for many of these villagers. But the castle will go up. Villese is still holding to his hill. Has great vision because of the Byzantines. Will probably swing siege over here. DauT should be making some siege here right now because he should see... I guess he just reacted. But he should see that there's a castle there, and he is going to make a Treb. I'm worried the Treb could go down to the Halbs, but the castle fire will help. DauT is like, get off my lawn, man. Get off my lawn. I'm sick of this. And Elite Manaspa, 14 plus 5 attack right now. The attack goes up for Manaspa based on how many other groups of Cav are in the group. So if he gets 2 more, he's going to go up to plus 6 attack. He gets 5 more after that. He gets plus 7 attack. It is plus 1 attack on your Manaspa per 5 units in the group. Something like that. Anyways. Treb did go down for DauT to the Halbs. That was what we were worried about, right? Did happen. Villese paid so close attention to that. That is sick. Because he could have been panicking over here. I still think the Skirm Manaspa combination could win this, though. Like, the Manaspa have so much attack. DauT has the relics. And I think DauT believes he can take this hill as well. Here, Manaspa versus Halbs. Maybe not the trade you're thinking of if you're DauT, but they take out the Halbs finally. And DauT getting some good kills here. And all of a sudden, Vilese's reeling. Vilese's down to just 150 pop. And DauT's finding kills here on army, on villagers. The Manaspa now dive. And Villese needs to defend these trebuchets or DauT's castle stays up. And the GG is called because DauT was going to reclaim the hill. And my goodness, what a crazy game. I was so concerned for DauT there at some points. I was so impressed for Villese to be able to hold on. Honestly, in the end, it just really felt like DauT's skirms were actually killing a majority of the Halbs. The Vilese's only answer to skirms were bombard cannons, which were really expensive, or his own skirms. But if he makes his own skirms, then the Manaspa show up. And of course, as we established, DauT's eco was superior. So DauT wins game 1 in what should be an amazing series. It was a great game. Best game we've seen today anyways. And 68k res collected by him. His macro was amazing in Castle Age. Dropping the fortified churches, expanding with, I think, 4 TCs, getting all 5 relics. That was so impressive. And it's good that he did have that, right? Because there were some points where there was some worry with Vilese's stubbornness. Should be a great series. Thanks for being here with me for the series. Should be awesome. And I'm sure Villese is going to have some tricks up his sleeve. But Byzantines go down to the Georgians in game number 1. All right, ladies and gents. Game number 2. We've got some arena action in this series. And if you missed the first game, DauT won that game with the DLC civilization. It was the Georgians. The other civilization from that DLC, the Armenians. So DauT's just like, give me all the new civs. I've got some cool things planned. Now, I casted a game with DauT. It's on my YouTube channel. You don't need to go watch it, but I noticed something that he did in that game. And he built a mule cart, and he used it on a straggler tree, which is really kind of funny, because a lot of people might think, why even do it? Well, the reason you do it is because of efficiency, right? He didn't have to walk back and forth. So he just uses it on the straggler tree, so he gets the initial wood faster, and then obviously just moves it over to a wood line. And then DauT forgot a house! He's being so fancy, he forgot a house, but at least he realized he forgot a house. So that could have been way worse for him. Listen, the Armenians can be really good. Their economy can be great. They're strong infantry and archer civilization, but while it's new, I can't bet against Villese with Burgundians. So I think right now people on my Twitch channel are able to predict and bet their channel points that have no rewards whatsoever, just to guess who wins. I don't want to influence the voting here, but Burgundians are disgusting. And I know they're more figured out, which maybe makes me feel that. But I think that DauT is going to... I think he's gone for something, which could be a bit sneaky, could be a bit new, to try and break the #1 pick from Villese, but I wonder if DauT truly feels. Like, if you were to ask him now, and he had to be honest with you, I wonder what he'd feel about his chances here. We'll see. People are saying Warrior Priest. That's actually a fair point. So, the Armenians get Warrior Priest, which is a monk that cannot convert units, but it can attack and it can pick up relics. And then the Burgundians get food per relic. The Burgundians could research eco upgrades an age earlier, and it's also cheaper, and like Villese has already done that, so it's going to be really tough to compete economically. Relics are pretty... Like, the map generation in general is also kind of interesting. Like, look at the stones, guys. So both players will have the 4-tile stone outside their walls. That's normal. But the stones and the golds outside the player walls are all like in the middle of the map and up. It feels like here, if you castled this area and hold this area, you could control all of this in theory. So map control will be really important. Oh man, DauT's up? Okay, tech tree time. Don't the Armenians have more efficient eco technologies too? Like from their mule carts? Could this be him rushing eco upgrades, or is this going to be super fast uptime? I think it's going to be super fast castle. It's a 9 villager start, so you can go up a villager or two faster for the all-in builds. Apologies for the flame you hear when I look at this area of the game. It's just capture age, so. That is clearly God's influence on this. We hear fire. We hear the sounds of hell when we look at Vilese's base. It's kind of interesting, though, because Villese is going 26 pop up, which is what you would do on a 3 villager start. Now, this is where, you know, I'll have to admit, like, I only played maybe, like, 30, 49 villager start games, but this has all been tournaments and prep for tournaments and whatnot, and always feel like you can cut a villager or two off the standard build. So the reason I bring this up is because if Villese could be faster and more efficient, because it's not necessarily bad, the eco is going to be incredible, but if timing is a thing here, if that is important, there's going to be a pretty big gap of time. Like, DauT's already 2.5 minutes away from Castle Age. But you would not be able to do 20 plus 2 very easily on a 3 villager start, I believe. Notice how DauT used the same mule cart, guys. So he collected some wood with it, and then he just went over to gold. Actually, let's look at wood collected for DauT this game. That's super cool. Like, at the very least, I think we should respect the fact that he's acknowledging the bonuses, and he didn't make 2 mule carts. Like, he just factored in just having one of them to click up. So, all right. Now, this will be a stable and then light cav. And light cav still do bonus damage against warrior priest. But warrior priest can attack back. Warrior priest also costs some food. It's like 80 gold and then 20 food. Wonder how aggressive DauT will be with this here. T90, I'm trying to introduce my girlfriend to AoE, and she is watching the stream. She doesn't know nothing about it. Can you be a good caster and explain it basic terms? Are you implying that I'm not a good caster? Are you... Lady, don't put up with this guy's disrespect, all right? He's been a jerk for 16... No, I'm kidding. All right, so there's a bunch of peaceful villages, right? Got a bunch of peaceful people, and all they want to do is they want to collect resources, and they want to live peacefully. But whoever's in charge, which is the player, is basically like, nah, we must destroy the other civilization or convert them to our side. Because there's an area to be conquered. So you collect resources in order to spend resources on either more economy, which allows you to collect more resources, or make army. And in this case, we're going to see a weird little priest thing, which is kind of new. How'd I do? Was that good? That was good, right? Good. Villese. They probably expected this. DauT with the first warrior priest on the way. Now, when the Armenians make their first fortified church, they get a relic for free inside of that. And so that's what happened there. So DauT could, in theory, have 6 relics. There are now 6 available relics in the game. Look at the warrior priest go. Now, I only really did a ton of testing with light cav. Let's see scouts against these things. Takes a lot of hits, man. Oh, dude, that was so good for DauT. That was so good for DauT because those scouts are pretty weak now. You could tell Villese was thinking, that's a monk, but it's a new breed of monk. Also, does anyone else find it so, like... Listen, I'm not even going to get into a balanced discussion here. But I can't help but feel like, because monks have been so talked about and complained about by pros for like a year, I can't help but feel like the devs were trolling when they introduced this. Oh, you complained about monks. That's funny. Let us create a DLC then, you complainers, where we can garrison the units inside the monastery. You get a free relic when you build the monastery. Oh, by the way, this thing attacks. It heals. It can pick up relics. It's pretty speedy. I feel like the devs were like trying to get people to shut up. I don't think it's going to work, but maybe that's what they're trying. Anyways, second TC's on the way here for Villese. And so far, so good for DauT. I mean, he wanted relics. Now, I think when Lightcav comes in, the additional bonus damage is pretty insane. But, like, DauT has a lot of warrior priests on the field. Here we go. And look what DauT did. He just drops the relic and he can fight back. Like, the Lightcav are not used to this. They're used to the useless little bald old men. And DauT's also adding a ram now, so there's going to be some aggression here. And they heal each other up, right? Mixed in some spearmen as well. That will have 6 relics soon. Dang. So, for Villese, it's just adding the monastery at your typical timing. And then also Lightcav. And this is what I came back to with the timing. Is like, I think DauT did a really good thing here to get up so quickly. And to be able to afford all this. His eco is not the best, but it's not horrible either. And 6 relics certainly doesn't hurt. Lightcav can work, though. Like, I think people... Even DauT's looking at this and is feeling, like, really confident. Lightcav can wreck this with the bonus damage. If Lightcav doesn't wreck this, I'm not sure how balanced it is. Let's put it that way. Wow, the Lightcav... I thought they did more. I thought they did more damage against this. Because the warrior priests have 95 HP and 11 attack. I thought the bonus damage was greater than that. It's crazy, man. It's just 60 HP on a Lightcav. Alright, so here come the warrior priests. Now, DauT's also going to make monks, and monks can actually convert. So, if you're ever confused, weapon, warrior priest. Bald head, monk. Okay? Warrior priests are now inside of the ram. I didn't actually know that they could do that, so that's pretty interesting. So it maintains that level of its infantry. The villager gets killed. Villager also gets converted, so that's a interesting little swing there for DauT as he still looks to pile on some pressure. Yeah, if the warrior priest converted too, that'd be stupid. Like, the cost on this would need to be way more than it is. Now, atonement means you can convert the enemy warrior priests and monks, and that's what Villese is going for now. So I'm not so sure DauT can advance much further with this push, but oh, what a shot! That felt like 10 tiles there, and it's good that he got that because his ram almost went down and his mangonel almost went down. He Kobe'd that one. 2 TCs still for Villese, and I like it. Like, he's invested a lot into monks and Lightcav instead of going for the 3 town center approach. Okay, DauT, I think, realizes that atonement must be in. And, oh, wow, the monk got converted, and DauT's in trouble. Let's see the warrior priest fight. Now, I think Villese will run away. Okay, so he was scared of the warrior priest's potential there. So he merely just killed some monks and then left. But killing the monks, obviously, a nice find for him. Yeah, infantry upgrades affect the warrior priests. And all the monk upgrades, too. So, the potential's there, but look at the resources collected. DauT has a lot of gold. He's brought in 1,200 gold from the relics. Villese's food and wood eco is still going to be looking pretty good. DauT's now going to try and boom. So DauT has shifted his focus into eco now, and it's just now defend the relics and take it late game. That's his thinking. This is no longer an all-in. But it was not the type of all-in that has to work. Like, I think all-in is probably the wrong term to describe what DauT did here. But just say a very aggressive opening. Like a 1 TC opening. But all-in normally implies it has to work or the game's over. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, there's going to be a whole lot less red on our screen. Oh, warrior priests. Oh, no. They have the tools. They have the knowledge. Oh, no. Mangonel goes down. The 2 warrior priests that are now going to come over here and worship this religion. And another warrior priest could change sides. Oh, it's a monk that changes sides. DauT has even brought a villager into the mix, which is probably not something he intended, but this is very messy. Now, another part of what makes DauT's opening so strong and the potential so strong for his units and his choices right now is the fact that you can garrison inside the monasteries. No others, like just the Georgians and the Armenians can garrison inside their monasteries. I think it was a mistake from DauT to go in here, though. I just spoke the words, right? Like, you can go inside your monasteries. But maybe he wanted to go inside of his opponent's monastery, and, well, can't really do that. I think it's really easy to think, like, okay, 1 extra fight, and then I'm 3 TCs and I'm good. So maybe he felt like it was a decent enough trade. The KD's pretty close. That's going to make another Mangonel here. Is 3 TCs behind this for Villese. I want to see Villese walk out with Lycav and just drop a castle here. I would do it, and it would look so dumb. Like, okay, let me reword that. It's not smart to do. Based on the player's perspective, it's not a smart decision. But based on what we see, it would be amazing. DauT's trying to, like, fake this attack. He's like, okay, I'm attacking you. Come defend this. Come defend this. DauT doesn't care about that. Also, I think there's a world where DauT should even take the relics home at some point if this gets bad. Like, he needs to sense it's getting bad first. Maybe this is a start. A couple monks get picked off and... Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Not the best. Alright, guys. We'll see how it goes. Conversions on monks. Like, DauT got the relics. DauT attacked with warrior priests. But clearly, other aspects of the monk control better for Villese here. Here we go, by the way. 2,000 gold brought in from DauT's relics. Still behind in resources collected. And will be very far behind to the next age, my friends. Sheesh. Monastery at home for DauT. Okay, this is the evacuation. Here we go. Okay, this monk's going to start it. It's kind of funny is if you're looking at this, you're just staring at this. If you're Villese, you could see the relic pop out in the fog. Watch. Hey, pay attention, people. If you're not staring at your opponent's monastery in the middle of the map when you play the game, you're simply not good enough. All right? It looks so funny. Is there a warrior priest in there? I can't tell. Where is he? Oh, it's the one in the front. Well, it makes sense. He's a warrior, so he should lead the way. Yeah. Also, look at how he leans back a bit further. You notice how there's a little bit more back leanage for the warrior priest? Smart from DauT. He might not get the other 2, in all honesty. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more Lycav here from Villese. Maybe giving a little bit too much respect to the warrior priest attack, but he does get great value there. He sees the castle from DauT, and he will see this monastery has a flag. DauT is not going to want to donate relics to the enemy here, especially because one of those relics was just a bonus for making the first fortified church. But currently he has 6. 2 monks are going to come in here. He's going to want more than that. Here we go, round 2. Doink. I missed one of them. And there they go. Okay, so from a balance perspective, I think the warrior priest has some problems that will need to be changed at some point. I do actually like the fact the warrior priest is faster than the monk, because it just makes sense. It is clearly a younger man, and it's a warrior, right? If it was as slow as a monk, it would be kind of hard to utilize. So the speed difference, I think, is kind of nice. Again, other aspects could be a problem balance-wise with this civilization. We've got... Oh, man, we've got composite bowmen on the way for DauT. Now, this is a unit that ignores armor. They also look very menacing. So there's no way those helmets are easy to see out of. Maybe that's why they lack range. They're very low range, low HP unit, but they ignores all armor. But where they would struggle is against long-range monks that could convert them. Or, like, range units that have... you know, lots of damage. So, like, skirms would be good against them, for example. But you could have, like, a fully armored paladin, let's say, and you go in to attack these things, and these things don't care. Also, whatever they did with the arrows, it makes them look more realistic than other arrows in the game sometimes. Oh, God. DauT, what are you... He's clicking the monks. Do you want to do this? DauT? I mean... Not his finest micro moments is the way to say that. And up against him is going to be hand cannons. Hand cannons have 7 range, lots of base attack, not a unit that relies heavily on armor. So I would consider this to be a pretty decent unit against the composite bowman. But usually hand cannons aren't that great against archers, so it's a bit tricky. Remember, DauT is the relics, but he's been behind in eco. Res collected now. It's getting a lot closer. But it's the food count for Villese that's been ridiculous. DauT with double castle stack here, adding ranges too. But Villese's got trebs and bomber cannons, and if he takes out those castles, DauT won't have the building to make his unit. And it felt like DauT wanted to clear out as much as he could there when he made that little dive, but composite bowmen are still kind of new. And I'm not sure what you do. You do not get bomber cannon with the Armenians. So, you can't make your own bomber cannons. I think DauT is stuck here on the composite bowman and has to hope that they're really, really strong here. Obviously not elite yet. Getting quite a few blacksmith upgrades is nice. Mixing them with skirmishers is also really nice. I'm scared for him. These things are so low range. Oh, God. This is not going to be good. He's trying. Like, he killed some hand cannons, but... there's just a whole lot of cloaks there to trip over for the next crew. And they are not going to appreciate that. More like composite gnomon. Respect that. In our Discord, we have a memes channel. And in the description of the memes channel is T90 reserves the right to steal your memes and use them on social media. You guys also should acknowledge, if you ever leave a comment on one of my videos or my streams, that I reserve the right to steal the joke. All right? And I'm stealing composite gnomon. It's mine. This is so rough for DauT. It's just such a big, like, it was such a low eco play to get the relics. And the eco for Villese is just winning in the game now. And then it's also possibly a question of options, too. The castle here for Villese could be denied by something, so that could be a positive for DauT, but I'm still... feels like the Burgundian gunpowder, right? You do more damage than other gunpowder units do. So it's... you know, I think normal hand cannons would do well, but Burgundian's just doing Burgundian things. And then you can go for armored units once the composite bowmen are cleared out, right? And DauT just taps out, calls the GG, and listen, it was a fun game. I hope people salute DauT for the attempt, and I hope people enjoyed to think about it and watch it and see the new units in play. But Burgundians are going to Burgundian, and it takes me back to what I said in Dark Age, man. The eco's too good. 4k gold for DauT, but at what cost? The Burgundians, it feels so smooth with the good eco, the light cav, and then the build up with gunpowder. So we'll see, right? You know, the warrior monks. Did DauT make too many of them, perhaps? I think maybe he did. Maybe a couple warrior monks. Maybe then you go into monks and atonement. Maybe he could have gone for the TCs faster. Maybe he has to not make any composite bowmen and go for just archer range units. Maybe stable units. I don't know. But certainly felt as though the Burgundians, probably the #1 arena civ in the game for many people. A civilization that was also released within the last couple years, right? They're still on top, at least in that particular game. But what was impressive about Villese there is how calm he was. Like, we're like, oh, there's these new units. You got people that are like, ah, this is freaking broken, blah, blah, blah. And then he's just chilled. He's like, actually, that's a pretty cool unit. Let me convert that over to my side. And didn't really shy away from leaving his base many times. Was fine to be underneath the monastery as well. So, yeah, I think Armenians are good. I don't think they're elite on Arena. They have the fun option with the monks, but I really think that they are a bit lacking, at least compared to the Burgundians. But I always said, this is like my rule number 1 for Arena. You either ban Burgundians or you pick them first. That's what I've always said. And I think, let's look at Civ Draft. Burgundians are first pick for Villese, right? So, like, I think for DauT, he was hoping something crazy could happen there. But ultimately, he's not expecting the 3-0 today because the level's going to be extremely high. He wanted to give himself a unique shot, and that's what it was. But wasn't able to get the W. GG. Game 3 coming up here soon. All right, ladies and gents, here we are, game number 3. And, ooh, fun civilizations here, huh? All right, so DauT's gone for the Romans. Every single civ pick in this series has been a new civilization. The Romans were introduced in a DLC like 9 months ago or something. And it's kind of one of the weirder DLCs they ever released. I don't think they originally were going to include it in Age of Empires 2, but then they announced it wasn't going to be in Age of Empires 2, and then a bunch of people canceled their DLCs. So anyways, I digress. Romans are in Age of Empires 2 now. They have double armor on their infantry. So if you're thinking about unit options for DauT, I could definitely see a lot of infantry here. Maybe even some scorpions could be really good. But economically, the big thing to think about is the 5% greater efficiency for their eco. It's just 5% on everything. And I think that's why Romans are doing really well at mid to low elo right now. Because mid to low elo players like to stick with one unit. They don't like to change it up. And they want as many stats as possible on the unit. And they like efficiency. Villese, with a civilization that I am so excited for, because this civ was buffed in the most recent patch, where their farms are now 15%. So a little bit of Slav history for you, okay? So first, the Slavs didn't exist. Okay? And the Slavs were introduced to the game. They had 15% farms. Slavs were quite strong. Keep in mind that we didn't have like 20 civilizations that we do now. So it was like 28 or 30. I don't know what the number was. Anyways, Slavs are very strong. Eventually, the devs said those farms are too good. We no likey. And they nerfed it down to 12. Okay? But then, civs like the Poles, civs like the Burgundians, all these civilizations were introduced with new DLCs. Civilizations got very strong. A little bit of power creep swept in. And then the Slavs were kind of forgotten. And people cried. There were actual tears spilled. Spilled? Cried? Because, people were like, what about my Slavs? And the devs heard those people's tears and cries or whatever, and they buffed them again. And so in the past, it was always, like the last couple years, they've still always had really fast farms. But it still felt like they were like second. Even though I think mathematically they were the best farms, it felt like Khmer and Poles and Franks just felt a whole lot more smoother. So that's the whole story, all right? So we have DauT, who's probably going to be going very aggressive. And then we have Villese, who's going to ultimately win this game through a whole lot of farms, or and maybe some defense initially, because the players are super close together here. Do you think civs are balanced? There's always conversations that can be had on balance. Civ balance is way better today than it was 5 years ago. Civ balance is always a little bit shaky after a DLC. This one has actually been refreshingly fun. Like, the bugs haven't been fun with the patch and whatnot, but they did push out a patch, last week, I think, that fixed some of the bugs, so, or 3 or 4 days ago. But yeah, I don't think... I think it's fun to talk about balance, right? And I don't think there's too many things I would want to change right now. I think I want to wait and see certain things, right? If we're talking about newer civilizations, at least. They did also say that pathing was improved. And, well, has not been my experience. Man-at-Arms, the play here for Villese. And I'm guessing Villese, like, guys, sometimes you will go for a strategy to match your opponent's strategy out of fear of it. And I think here, like, Slavs do have infantry bonuses to work with, but it honestly wouldn't surprise me if Villese was hoping to engage against DauT before DauT got man-at-arms, because DauT is the type of guy to go for man-at-arms. And DauT actually just opening with skirmishers and spearmen here, which is really odd. But maybe DauT didn't really get the scouting in. Yeah, he didn't scout the barracks, so I don't think DauT had time to think I need archers. We'll probably see him go to gold soon, but the man-at-arms are here. And DauT, he either has to quick wall or he has to fight back with villagers here shortly. We'll see. This is giving Villese a lot of time. DauT being patient, though. You see how much respect they have for each other? It's so wild. But there's a point for me where I'm just diving on villagers. I'm like, I don't have the patience, you know? And DauT is a player who's always lacked a little bit of patience as well. His micro's been pretty good thus far, though. And the skirmishers have just slowly been chipping away at the man-at-arms. The spearman helped. The scout helped. Scout is down, though. And I guess ultimately DauT's okay. But I feel like control is one of the greatest things you can have in any game. And Villese has control currently, which is going to make Villese feel very good. Villese is starting scout as well, able to get some nice hits in on the skirms. And behind this, Villese is just going for skirms, so. DauT, of course, doesn't know what his opponent's doing either. Very weird to me how little scouting DauT has of resources. Didn't see the berries, didn't see the gold. Like, they're so close, right? Whereas, I mean, obviously, Villese has seen everything now, but I feel like maybe more should have been seen there. And even, like, DauT might consider running through the middle to attack or something at some point. And Villese's walled it up. Another bonus the Slavs have, which is a nice bonus I've always loved, is they get extra pop space per military building. So it's kind of funny. I thought of it because Villese is now housed. So, like, these two buildings give him 10 pop space, basically. Like, combined. So that's really nice to have. So again, I think if you have time to farm with the Slavs, you should be in a really good spot. But for the Romans, everything's more efficient. So it's not just the farms. Well, just a skirm battle here. So what's happening a lot lately is players will try and go into like a bit of a skirm spear war. And then it just turns into either longswords or knights in the next age in combination with siege. So knights and whatnot is not really new. Knights and scouts, but it's how we get there and the reasons we get there. In the past, players would open with scouts and then it's like, oh, I still have a stable later. I make knights. These days, players are not opening with stables near as much. At the highest level anyways. You know what makes me laugh sometimes, guys? How many people do we have? I don't even have my viewer count up. We got what, like 4K? Something? Imagine this. There is a very good chance that someone just finished a ranked game after getting scout rushed. And they feel like, man, scouts are so good. Scouts are so strong. I hate scout rushes. Show up to relax a little bit. And then I say, yeah, scout rushes aren't really seen that much. Yeah, scouts aren't really that good. Like, there's a chance. That's the first thing a person would hear. That has to happen on occasion. And maybe it's a little bit mean to me, but I actually find that kind of funny, you know? It's all situational. Every rank has its own strengths and weaknesses, of course, but... look at this from DauT. The Spearman Skirm. Like, yeah, the Spearman obviously could kill the Scouts. Villese trying to bait the Spearman to be clicked in there because Villese knows the Spears are weak. Scout Rush is pretty good even at pro level. Yeah, it is. But it's uncommon to see that players open compared to the past. I'm talking in comparison. These days, a lot of range openings, a lot of militia openings. You could argue that the openings, though, are more diverse. And I think this tournament's been fun, too, because we just had a bunch of tournaments with the standard 3 villager start. The 9 villagers also spices it up, so... Wow, look at the eco, man. Look at that. I mean, this is against Slavs. DauT's collected more food. That's crazy, man. I guess he did use the market a bit, which could influence that, but really impressive play from DauT. And here it is, people. Here it is. Man-at-Arms. And the first armor upgrade. So your opponent's on trash units. What's great against trash units? It's infantry. Now, listen, I think there's going to be a temptation for DauT to go this way. And I think you need to fight that temptation. All right? You need to just bust through these buildings, man. Like, DauT doesn't have vision right now, so he might not think about that. But if you're going this way, that takes so much time, and it gives time for Villese. You need to mass the infantry, and you need to smash his face in. Maybe not as aggressively, but... no, it's a war game, right? Villese is here, and now on the flip side of that, right? If you're Villese, you want to have as much army as possible to force DauT to show his hand. Obviously, you have the scouting of it, but like you want to, at the very least, delay him. So annoy DauT with this, and if DauT has to chase this down, that's huge. Good. Good. Yeah, you're going the wrong way, pal. That's the idea. And DauT is here, but he's not here with everything, which gives Villese time. Now, the Slavs do get supplies for free, which makes the food cost and their own infantry cheaper, but you don't want to go up against the amount of armor the Romans have. So I think this is the correct call from Villese to simply just think about stables. And Villese has to wall behind. The skirms are running away. We have arson as clicked early here from DauT. So the infantry will destroy buildings faster. And then he clicks longsword. Can someone do the math on that? Obviously, he's gotten both here. But, like, had he gotten longsword instead of arson there, would he have gotten through the building slower, faster, the same? Because there's a 3 difference in attack there, which is why I ask. I don't even know. I think arson's like +5 against buildings or something. I actually don't know. But this is so much pressure. And it's longsword and arson now. I think this is stone wall territory. That's a lot of stuff. And Villese GG's! He GG's! It came in too fast, guys. It came in too fast. So, I'm tempted to make a joke here because I think we all have thought we were dead and then we wait until we reach the next stage and then resign because we're like, I'm dead, but I have to at least make it to the Imperial Age first for my ego. Right? But I'm not going to make that joke because I'm a greater man than that. And I just want to explain why he's over. All right? How does he stop this much army? He needs knights. Well, okay, cool. He's in Castle Age now. How long does it take to make a knight? Well, that's going to take time to make 1 knight. Well, DauT already has 10 units. All right, well, then you got to wait for a couple more knights. Well, then DauT makes a couple more units. What is DauT going to do in the middle? Definitely going to make a monastery there. Then he's probably going to have some monks. You've got no gold. You've got no space. If you're not on the gold because you're trying to keep your villagers protected, then the longswords are going to push elsewhere. And it's just the timing of the attack, guys. The timing of the attack is so good. And the core difference here between infantry and knight is that you cannot make a knight light in Feudal. Now, you can make scouts and upgrade them to light cav, sure. But, like, with man-at-arms, for example, you can mass them as you're on the way to Castle Age. And then it's like, boom, I've got numbers of the unit I'm sticking with already. So, it really felt like a good strategy for DauT because they're so close, which means the lack of speed on the infantry doesn't make a big difference. And he gets the job done. 18.5-minute game. Now, I don't know if it's a curse. I don't know what it is, but I need to repeat some things here. So, TTL playoffs a month ago. DauT's up 2-1 with some great strategy on Tato. Loses 3-2. This tournament, up against Leary. Up 2-1 in a series. Loses 3-2. Up against Hera. 2-1. Loses 3-2. So, this was all part of the storyline at the start of the cast. Can DauT close it out and can he move into the quarterfinals, or will the 2-1 curse still plague him? This is like, it's pretty wild that within such a short span, and here's the res collected. Pretty wild to me that within such a short period of time that DauT has had that happen so many times. So put that evil on him, T90. Hey, listen, I am not a distributor of evil or good. I merely have to say what I see. All right? You guys decide what that means. But drama is real right now. All right, folks. So drama time here because DauT has been up 2-1 before, and people are getting upset with me for bringing it up. But that's my job. He's been up 2-1 before, and he is not... And then he has lost 3-2 4 times that I could think of over the past month in big events. A lot of that being Warlords, one of them Titans League. They are right next to each other here on Nomad. And DauT is Persians, an excellent Nomad civilization. It wouldn't even be memeing here to suggest a town center drop when you're this close, folks. Koreans for Villese. I think that what Villese really wants in this game is he wants an easy, free, fast castle into war wagons because it's a really hard unit for the Persians to stop. One of the best things, one of the things I'd suggest to anyone up against war wagons in Castle Age is monks. But you really want to have sanctity on your monks, and the majority of civilizations do, which it puts another 15 pounds on the monks, right? Because they're nice and frail before the sanctity upgrade. But sanctity isn't available for the Persians. And how did that TC not hit anything? Sorry to get really bent out of shape, but I believe that definitive edition projectiles on towers and TCs don't work properly. Look at this. She knows nothing about that. Somehow doesn't lose any HP. All right. All right, good to know. Good to know. But now DauT knows his opponent's TC is there, and like Villese didn't kill a villager, which is a pretty big deal. Maybe she has a special story for us here. Dock position for DauT is down here. Persians get plus 50 wood, plus 50 food on their start. So it should be super easy to do this. And DauT has had a dream start so far with boars as well. Getting 2 boars. This falls to the category of, like you're both sharing land, right? So it's very common sometimes in these situations where you go for the same boar. But it hasn't actually happened. Like DauT took this one, which Villese might look for eventually. Villese took this one, which DauT might look for eventually, but DauT sees this other boar over here. Right now, though, I think he's thinking about going up to Feudal Age to kill fish. T90 suggests monks no matter what the situation is. No, I mean, it is genuinely one of the better things against war wagons. Because the problem is war wagons are really high HP, so even if you go for, like, skirms cost a lot of resources to invest into. It takes a little bit of time. And then the war wagons have the extra armor, too, so... Not having Sanctity monks against war wagons is a really big deal. So Villese should know DauT's over here. And look at Villese scouting, guys! With the pigs! Where's that guy who wanted me to explain the basics of Age of Empires 2 to his girlfriend earlier? Is it making sense yet? This is clear, okay? Scouting with pigs. It's the way this game is played. They're not pets. They're not food. They are scouts. But this is really good for Villese, though, because that is a lot of work on top of everything else. And what this is doing is this is giving Villese an idea of where DauT has not docked. Now, I would be concerned if I'm Villese that DauT would have a dock here, because this still has not been scouted. And that is near your fish. So it is... I think there's some level of worry for Villese at the moment. But obviously, from what we know, DauT's docks are pretty far away. And DauT, walling there, is going to tower the other side of the wood line from Villese there. It shouldn't be the biggest deal for Villese, but DauT might not stop there with the towers. Now, Korean villagers have more line of sight, so this should be something that's really hard for DauT to hide. This is not standard vision. This is Koreans. And then this is Koreans. But it's happening, and Villese is not in Feudal Age yet to stop it. Oh god, DauT built the tower in the TC range. I wonder if Villese waited intentionally. Because if he garrisoned right away, then he would have let DauT know. Well, that tower is eventually just going to be shot down. But I mean, there are 10 idols for the time being, so that's a positive for DauT. I am shocked that DauT didn't go to gold at all here. pure towers without multiple fire galleys coming out behind is surprising to me. But neither player really on gold. DauT's going to do that soon. And down will go DauT's tower, and that's something that he's going to regret. But maybe he feels like he can just repair this forever? What's better, 10 villagers shooting arrows out of a town center or 2 hammer girls? Okay. Well, there's your answer. That tower's been walled in, which is good, though. But at the end of the day, it's not really... Like, nothing's really happening beyond relocating some villagers. Yeah, hammer gals. Hammer gals. Fire's on the way now. I like how DauT is now collecting all the pigs on the shoreline. But yeah, like the fact that DauT can't make another fire galley right now is a pretty big deal. And I think there's potential, right? You tower, you force reactions there, and then you also have multiple fire galleys coming out. And unfortunately for DauT, that is not the case. He's not going to have multiple, and he's struggling with the focus here. Just passing there. And he's going to just pass directly into the fire galley there from Villese, so Villese should be able to defend that. Villese's on stone, thinking about war wagons. And thinking about towers. DauT makes a new tower here. There's now a tower going up from Villese. This is interesting, guys. Like, a minute ago, I was thinking that we were going to see a couple towers, a little fire galley war, and then a castle age eventually. Like, in a couple minutes. I'm not seeing the food eco that indicates to me that DauT's going to be up anytime soon. He's got the 6 fish, and he's got 2 docks with Persians, which is really good. But, like, 15 on wood, no access to berries. Villese is also dropping an archer range, and if Villese knows to check for DauT's gold, this is super exposed. DauT needs a defensive tower here. I'll check resources collected. Should always be Persians in these instances, and Persians just... I mean, it's just a starting bonus, which normally helps, but it didn't do enough. And maybe DauT's feeling like he's really cramped for space right now. Now, a big thing I haven't mentioned. Koreans cannot make demos. Persians can. Will both players patrol here? Feels like they both did. Okay. So actually a really big deal. Repairs will need to happen there. DauT again could add demos into the choke point, which could change the fights. DauT added a tower. I sense a Villese tower in a position where he will send his archers into that tower. That is my prediction. DauT continues to advance forward here. Villese soon going to click up. Has the food to click up. And how has Villese got the res to click up? So well played here. And needs a bit of micro here, though. And he's even blocking with the fishing ships. I'm going to assume that's intentional because other movements are happening here. Looks intentional to me. Doesn't get the save there, though. And DauT has got to be happy with this now. Finally, some of the Navy pressure pays off. And could continue to snowball a bit further. Koreans get guard tower for free in the next age. That is less than 2 minutes away. And like I said, I think that what Villese should do is just repair this tower and send archers inside of it. And then just, it'll deny DauT's gold. And then you have the stone to make war wagons. And drop a castle on DauT's face. In other words, I think this game is prepped to possibly go to the game 5 that DauT fans don't want to see. And that would be if DauT doesn't do something more. DauT realizing he's not up yet, he's going to start to add some scouts. Scouts could be helpful against some of the villagers. That'll take a bit of time, though. Still engaging on the water. Good patience here from Villese just to keep the tower up. Of course, DauT has idle time now inside of that tower as he tries to shoot it down. Could see turtle ships for Villese as well, but there's a lot of possibilities. This should remind you that Villese's eco isn't the greatest. Like, to get up to Castle Age, you're not producing more villagers. You can't do everything. Where's the castle going to go? Castle's going to go there. It's a pretty safe castle, honestly. Castle will go up. Guard tower is now in. DauT lost a villager here. And DauT's going to have to leave. He cannot take this gold. He knows it. Scouts for DauT over here on the berries. Villese doesn't see it. No reaction yet for Villese. This is DauT's chance. Villese was not expecting this, so DauT making things chaotic, and behind it, he's adding fishing ships. Do not forget about Fish Eco on Nomad. Fishing Eco is so valuable. 51 Eco units for DauT, 35 for Villese. DauT still able to deny wood for a bit. I'm curious on if this castle ranges the tower, though, because Villese obviously could just take this. Villagers are on the move for DauT here. Villese, I think, just caught a glimpse of them. And DauT is hoping he won't be spotted there, because he's not going to have gold otherwise. Oh, no! The tower is not rangeable by the castle, because Bodcanero isn't in. But Bodcanero costs food, and it costs gold. And Villese has been focusing on other things. And DauT, with his scouts, here on the stone mines. Look at the amount of blinking on the map right now. I think Villese is chasing down these villagers. What? This is so much messier than I thought it could be. But guys, this is DauT making Villese work for it. And DauT's got a chance. His scout rush has been amazing. He's like, I don't care if you have guard tower. I've got the position full. Wow. DauT needs to click up, though. Like, DauT needs to somehow find his way up the castle age. And then he needs to find an answer to war wagons. And I'm worried he can't kill War Wagon. Like, you get the armor upgrades for free with Koreans. Good luck. 150 HP. There, they're rolling around. Oh, no! Villese upgraded to War Galley in the meanwhile. And is going to kill all of those fishing ships. Sheesh. Roasted, man. And there goes the eco lead we were excited about for DauT. I saw 12 to 16 fishing ships on screen and thought there might be a chance, but what a great job for Villese to not forget about that. Like, so many people are just like, fish don't matter. I just need to kill with war wagons. That's my main focus. He says, why not both? Sits in the minimum range of the tower. And guys, I'm not happy to be saying these words. This is going to be yet another series with DauT where he's been up 2-1 and it's going to go to game 5. Is like the 5th series in a row? Or not, sorry, not in a row. In a row would be incorrect. But like the 5th series I'm thinking of in the last month and a half? It might even be more than that. But, of course, we don't know who's going to win that. DauT probably trying to avoid that at all costs right now, thinking maybe I can do something. But yeah, I'm just not seeing it, guys. I'm just not sure. He did find gold down here. He's going to lose his TC. So he'll be town centerless. And this might be DauT just trying to cool his mind a little bit. What again, as someone who's lost a lot, what I found in high-level tournaments for me is like, when I know the game's over, if I play on for an extra 2 minutes, I don't think about the game that just happened when the game ends. Does that make sense? Like, whereas if immediately when I think the game is over, I resign, then I'm thinking about it when I'm in the lobby for the next game. So I let my brain acknowledge all my little mistakes or things I wanted to do differently in these moments instead of when I'm supposed to be thinking about the next game. I don't know if that is how other people view it, but that is how I view it, so. Yeah, ACCM will, like, take it to a different extreme I can't really relate to, but... GG's called. We have a Game 5 coming up. And honestly, you know, there's like, one thing it comes back to for me. And I think it was DauT going for towers, but not being on gold. I liked the towers. I think the towers weren't bad. Now, the first tower was in the TC range, which is something that he will regret. But the idea of tower pressure is not something I hate. But what hurt him was that he made one fire galley, and that was it. For like 3 minutes, and then Villese was able to come back on water. I think the timing was there where if DauT just even had the second fire galley, he probably kills 4 or 5 fish. Or at least makes Villese work a whole lot more. Still, Villese did such a good job. He's so calm and so relaxed. And impressive from him to be able to get up to Castle Age so much faster there. Great value throughout all of his engagements. 47 kills, 17 deaths. Score is now 2-2. The storyline, the same storyline we've seen with DauT so many times. And we've got one more map coming up. This is must-watch Age of Empires 2. I hope people are ready. And the next map is going to be Border Dispute. Are you kidding me? Border Dispute! Border Dispute's a terrible, terrifying place to play if you really need a win. The action's going to start right away when that happens, so, whew! All right, ladies and gents, Border Dispute, Game 5. There's so many storylines I want to talk about. We ain't got time for that on Border Dispute, all right? It is the Malay for Villese here in the blue. And it is the Mongols for DauT in the red. Now, there's 4 boars in the middle. There's not much of a dispute here. They both have been able to snag 2 boars. DauT has the civilization with the faster hunt, so Mongols, one of the better ones here. Malay advanced faster to the next stage, though, and DauT, I was just going to say, needs to make sure he doesn't let this boar go back. He's being patient with it right now, which is completely fine, because he doesn't want to lose a Vil. It's actually a little bit more efficient this way as well. But, obviously, if that boar wanders back to the middle, Villese may notice it and snag it. Now, you've got food in the middle as well on the shorefish, so sometimes we do see players dock there. But then I'll zoom out a little bit to show you. Basically, it's tiny elevation, little steps, basically, all the way up to the outside. And what makes this map rare is, or what is rare on this map compared to other maps, I guess, is the way to say it. You're normally expanding away from the enemy. And I know in some cases you see that on other maps, but it's very clear on this map. You're going this way, and this way, and this way, instead of starting back here and moving forward. So I could see, galleys being effective here in the long run, potentially. I think the ships can actually go all the way to the sand. So if you don't have water at all, and the opponent has galleys or galleons, they could maybe take out your TC later. But that's an investment into just one area, one little blob, one little pond, one little swamp, one little sludge, one little, I don't know. And I think Land's army could possibly be more important. Last time I saw this map was Villese against the Viper in their group stage series. Villese played very well there. He did lose, but that was up against the Chinese. So, but in that game, both Viper and Villese both docked. Sheesh. T90, is it a better deal financially speaking for you to be on Twitch now compared to before you were here? Wait, hold on. What? Is it better financially speaking for you to be on Twitch now compared to before you were here? I don't really know, because all my revenue, all my income for the most part is how many people support and show up, right? So that will to be seen. But that's kind of the nature of streaming, is you put in work, you work hard, you have fun, and, you know, hopefully the support's there, and the support's been amazing so far. So, yeah, I don't really know. This is my 4th day back, you know? It doesn't look like DauT has any interest in headed to gold right now. And looks like more of a scout opening for him than anything. Did see that there's a dock for Villese there. And since you can drop off food at the dock from fish, the 3 villagers have actually brought in the food. And we haven't even seen a fishing ship yet. I like that. It feels weird, but I like it. And I think DauT will maybe consider a demo in the middle. But we'll see if he goes to gold for some fires. DauT's just going to push in the last deer here. Villese clicked up later, but arrives at similar times because he's Malay. Yeah, guys, sorry that you can't post links if you're in my chat right now. I have to fix that. Did you see this? Look at this. DauT saw the 3 vills and walked away. Like, okay, I didn't see nothing. Villese is going to see the dock, but he will think this is a fire galley war, because only a crazy person makes a demo. He didn't even see me. Okay, hold on. Is he pulling the vills back intentionally? Oh, smart boy. That's smart. I mean, I think you could argue whether or not that's worth it or not. But at the end of the day, DauT kills a villager, and he got a big explosion for it. Behind this, we have Villese walling up right now. The nerves must be so high for both of them. Guys, both these players are so good. This takes you to a quarterfinal if you win this game. I think minimum prize pool difference is like let's say you win this game and then you don't lose any other games, or you don't win any games in your quarterfinal. I still think it's a jump of like $500, maybe $1,000. That's crazy, right? How much money is attached to this game. Someone can maybe get the exact amount for me, but they don't think about that, right? They're thinking, I want to freaking win. They worry about all that later. And they both have the talent to win a quarterfinal as well, depending on who they're up against, right? And that will be decided after this game here. It's going to be skirms. It's going to be spears from Villese. Nice little awkward mix. DauT has scouts out. Interesting walls from Villese. Not much for expanding, right? Tiny little walls to keep himself protected from the opening from DauT here. DauT saw that, though. This doesn't come as a surprise to him. And thus far, I would assume DauT has collected more food just because of the Mongol hunt. No, not even. But, I mean, it's all pretty close. DauT's not going to lose a lot of villagers to a couple spearmen and skirmishers here. He's just not. And DauT actually kills a skirmisher there. And that's the second kill in the game. Wait, so if you use a demo, it doesn't count as a death? Since when? I just realized that looking at this now. The demo didn't count as a death. I guess it's like similar to deleting one of your own units where the game doesn't count it. But I always thought the demo was included in that. Guess I was wrong. Hunts for DauT in the north. Ooh, I love it. Like, a lot of players don't like to take risks here, and that's understandable, but there's extra hunt around the map, and DauT still wants to make use of his Mongol bonuses. Beautiful play from him, and that could end up making a pretty large difference here. The skirms are going to be here to kill the spears, and I wonder if maybe scouts could make sense for Villese. He's going to gold, so I'm thinking, if anything, he's just going to mix in... I don't know why he would go to gold, actually. I think maybe that's just to get the fletching upgrade, because... that would make sense. Because he made the fire, and neither player can actually afford fletching unless they mine gold right now. So I think that's actually the reason that both of them are doing it. We'll probably see the blacksmith for both. But because you spend less time researching the next stage, you have more time creating villagers, which is why the KD looks like it does right now, but Villese still has the eco lead. The armor upgrades for infantry are in for free in each age, which makes the Malay spearmen a bit tankier here, especially if fletching isn't in for DauT. I think in the back of DauT's mind, he's probably thinking Step Lancer, Step Lancer, Step Lancer. But for now, he has to fight in Feudal Age with scouts and skirms. I suggest you add res collected to your custom overlay. Yeah, I'm going to do it, but I can't snap a finger and do that, so. It's a nice stat. I don't like to have too many stats on screen, though. I like to talk about things, and I like the simplicity of mine, so we'll get there eventually. I do not see how DauT is going to be able to break Villese here. The farm count's really good. The berries still there. The army count's really nice. This game will definitely go Castle Age. And DauT is open compared to Villese. And micro's needed here. Pretty good micro from both. DauT happy to get the hits on the skirms, I'm sure. And dives deep here to push the spears. Has fletching now. And DauT has really good micro there. But the spearmen are still there. And, I mean, that's even, right? DauT doesn't really have a whole lot left. Villese doesn't really have a whole lot left. I guess it's better for DauT. But then you have to take into consideration, too, is like how long-term are the units, and I guess that depends on how the rest of it plays out. I will heal you, says, I'm so proud, T90. My wife had the stream up already before I got home from work. Amazing. Oh, wow. Lots of spouses getting involved in the content today, guys. Still reminds me of the one meetup I had in, like, 2016. I had 10 people show up. And this one woman comes up to me. She probably maybe had a couple extra, like, maybe she was a little drunk. I don't know. And she goes, so you're the voice I hear in the living room when I want my husband to come to bed and he doesn't want to or something. It was very it was a very accusatory statement. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, it was like, so you're that guy. I was like, yeah, I guess that's me. I'm pretty sure I still remember that person's username, but I'm not going to say the username because they're probably, if they're still around, they might be like crossing their fingers that's not them. Like, Sandra, I told you not to have that many beers at the T90 meetup. You know what good IPAs do to you. I don't think her name was Sandra. But anytime someone says they're watching with their spouse, I just cannot get that out of my head. All right. So, just kind of weird armies they're fighting with right now. You know what would be really good for Villese right now? That it makes me sad we're not seeing it? Elephants! They're close quarters. The enemy's got skirms. Elephants, dude. And Malay get really cheap elephants. So I think DauT is concerned right now. There's this whole drama, right? This whole storyline of DauT going up 2-1 and then losing 3-2. It's a real thing. 2 examples of it in those last 3 sets in this tournament. And I'm sure he's waiting for an elephant to come thumping into his base, but it's not happening. And this isn't an army that could really damage him too much. Here he's harassing and making life awkward for Villese with the random units. It's actually done a lot, and DauT will be in Castle Age here in a minute. He hasn't taken significant losses economically, and he's kind of okay at the moment. Look how messy this is. Look where that monastery is being built for Villese right now. Efficiency certainly has to drop over the last couple minutes here for Villese, and it's looking good for DauT. There's the overall efficiency over the last minute. And now we've got a random villager from Villese chasing the skirm. He must have clicked that after the skirm when she was outside the walls. Villese is going to make a knight now. Oh, but he made the stable so late, right? And the knight actually more expensive for Malay than making an elephant would be. The knight's obviously a bit faster. Dang. TC will go up for DauT, taking it a bit further into the game economically. DauT is a couple step lancers out. The step lancers could run into Villese's base, but Villese will have the archers. Villese will also have the monks to maybe get conversions. So again, I think this game could continue on for quite a bit. DauT still has been taking hunt with these villagers, by the way. These villagers have helped so much for him. Just feels like Villese is one overchop away from a disaster here. And the step lancers can poke over the trees! You picked the wrong wood line to chop here, people! Skirms and step lancers are here, but now knights from Villese are in DauT's eco! DauT can kind of defend from this. Villese can kind of defend from that. Step Lancer's clear. Camel pushes it away. Nice stuff from DauT. He's still fine. He's got the potential for the villager lead right now. As Villese is building a TC. Which is solely because he's worried about this. Now, as a player, you see this TC. And you say, that's good for me. That's normally what happens. You're like, okay. That is not what he would have wanted. Also, mods, can we... guys, I'm sorry. I know copy pastas are really fun. Woo! We're gonna not. All right. So, chat, could we just chill with that? That'd be really nice. Thank you. And my mods, and I talked about it. I'm not a big fan of copy pastas. All right. I think the game's going bad enough for Villese where you actually use the stone and you plan for a forward castle on DauT's face. He's going to drop TC number 3, though. Oh, my goodness. I would have overchopped my wood lines. I would have had so many things go wrong if I were Villese. I would have lost 6 villagers. I would have forgotten an eco upgrade. This I would do. Monastery in the farm location. Not bad. It's building up a crossbow number, but DauT still has the elite skirms. And DauT's going to TC the right corner. Okay. This feels like a TC that will have an effect on this game one way or another, right? DauT having all this building up eco behind the opponent's base is either going to be a really good thing. Or a really bad thing for him later if the opponent gets a large army. I like it, though, because you can use this position to push because you have the top of the hill. So we could even see a siege workshop. And also could still take the hunt if you're thinking about it. But DauT needs to remember Horsecollar here, man. At the end of the day, it's a farm game now. DauT is now playing Farming Simulator, only he hasn't really read some of the information on some of the tools. But it's not a big deal. We like to look at Horsecollar and all that. It's not that big a deal to not have it at this stage of the game. Well, in a messy game. But you got to start to work it in soon, ideally. You get that Horsecollar upgrade, suddenly things are fine. And oh man, Villese has come forward. If only there was a TC on the gold, guys. Or on the gold, right? He's got a TC over here. DauT trying his best here with the skirms to kill some of the monks. The monks get pulled back. Great micro from Villese. And DauT still trying to use some skirms against the monks, but every little bit counts. This is so intense. It's 85 pop for both people. 85 population for both. It could swing either way. Res collected here. Still quite close, but Villese is somehow ahead of DauT. We do have some elephants on the field here for Villese, and he brings the chonkers in, and the chonkers are going to push it all back. Wow. Oh, no. Well, hold on. Monk. DauT needs that conversion. He doesn't get it. The crossbow sniped it. That was really well played from Villese. Oh, I'm so worried for DauT, guys. I'm worried Villese is going to castle drop DauT's face. DauT does... Like, Villese doesn't have to worry about this now. Villese still has control here. DauT's losing the monk. A lot of players would pull the Vills here. A lot of players would try and drop the castle right here. Or over here or something. Somewhere aggressive. DauT is one of them. Villese could go for a defensive castle. DauT is crumbling. He doesn't have army anymore. He's dropping TCs everywhere, but the idle time's insane. The curse is probably something he's thinking about right now. And he's not really had flow to the game. It's been really hectic, which is understandable. But Villese has been able to find this nice little army comp of Crossbow Knight. Killed, what, 3 or 4 monks over the last few moments. Also simultaneously defended. He's in this tiny little spot. And here come the Vills. DauT needs to deny this castle. I don't know with what, but he needs this castle to be to be denied. It cannot go up here. If it goes up, he's in big trouble. Oh no. Guys, think of Villese. He's been consistently producing villagers. He's consistently adding farms, getting good eco upgrades. Producing out of his stable, his range, his monastery. For DauT, it's been like hits here, and then a bit more of a gap in timing before the next units are made or something, right? Okay, well, Villese denying his own castle here. There it goes. I don't know what you do. Like, if you tower it, it doesn't deny it. You have to let it go up. You just have to. And I think you have to then plan for life without this TC. And you just leave this place. Yep, this is what you do. You just leave this place. You leave. And it's not pretty. This is a painful spot. But DauT needs to now use this eco. Remember when we talked about this? DauT needs to use this somehow. I don't know how. But the thing is about this map, guys, there's not a ton of gold to find on the outside. They're just spread out with 2 tiles. So losing this gold and losing this gold is horrible for DauT. There's more gold right here for Villese than DauT will ever be able to realistically control behind this. And Villese is on the way to imp as well. Wow. I feel so bad for DauT. I literally said before the series that there's probably has never been a series where I'm more biased against Villese than today, because I just feel bad for the amount of times that DauT has had an amazing series, been up 2-1, and then lost 3-2. His strategy is so good, but it's just like the consistency that's needed isn't always there. And I said that before the game. And here we are again. I know DauT, and he's such a competitor. Like, we like to meme, right? Oh, DauT Castle, the Lord, right? And I know you guys probably recognize how big of a competitor he is. But if you talk to him, right? You hear him on a stream or something. He's all like super joy, lighthearted. But he's got a serious mode to it because no one would be close to 40 and still competing at a high level in something if they didn't. And I know how much he beats himself up. I mentioned something to DauT. This is going to come off as a teaser. I'm not trying to, but it's relevant. I mentioned something to him after he lost in TTL. 3-2 to Tato. I said, there's an event that's coming, and you'll have your opportunity there. And DauT goes, great, another tournament to have great strategy and lose 3-2 in. That's what he said to me at the time. Now, that was immediately after he lost to Tato. But I think that tells you kind of like the emotions that can come with these types of things. And unfortunately, that was before he was up 2-1 on Leary and Hera. And now Villese. And we're here again, guys. We are here again. Yeah, I've also been told DauT's apparently sick, so he might be playing through something physically as well. But the game must go on, and there's a tournament structure to stick to, and DauT is dead, guys. He's got a villager lead, but the Trebs will take down all of his TCs. Can't realistically, with Castle Age skirmishers, kill these crossbows. His eco has been found. He's building a panic TC to hold this area. But, oh, man. We're going to see, this is what Nilly said when he was casting the series versus DauT and Tato. He said, this is the play of a broken man. And that's what it is for DauT right now. And it becomes very easy for Villese to make all the good decisions he needs to because he's got such a massive lead. And I can't believe I'm saying it. Villese wins 3-2 despite being down 2-1 to DauT. Villese moves into the quarterfinals. An amazing performance from Villese. I know that a lot of this is going to come down to that DauT storyline, and I'm a big part of that, right? Because I think it is relevant to talk about. But it's just the consistency of Villese, right? Like, he could get out-strategized. He could... One game, he resigned at 18 minutes and 20 seconds. Another game, and then he was like, whatever, I can rebound from that. The arena game, there are all these crazy warrior priests coming forward, down at like 5k gold from 6 relics, and then Villese won that. Villese's an amazing talent, gets the job done here, and I almost don't know how he was able to do this. Like, this is the Malay eco compared to the Mongols, which have to rely on the hunt. But like, when I saw these TCs go up, these were not ideal TCs, I felt, but I think it was him getting Knight Crossbow together. And DauT pretty much, he had skirms, but DauT only had the skirms down here and never was able to have anything prepped for that area. Not to mention, by the way, that this TC hurt him. Like, I know why he did it, but he needed a TC on a gold. And he didn't have a TC on a gold, which meant that he was pushed off of this area. So I think, you know, maybe if he had the TC here as well, it could have worked out for him. But, sad times for DauT. I'm really torn on that. I hope people enjoyed the series. I hope the commentary brought this series, did this series justice. This is a fantastic one. Obviously, the emotional side has me feeling for the Lord right now. There's the KD for Villese in that game. 66 kills, 44 losses. And yeah, folks, that is it. So let's look at the brackets in Warlords and see where things are at. I should have it somewhere here. This should tell us where everyone goes in the quarters for this event. I guess it's not updated. So Hera and Leary, that was already pre-established. They will be in the first quarterfinal. I believe it is Yo Villese? Okay, Yo Villese is what I'm being told. I'm trusting the users in my chat here. So Yo Villese, and then it would be Viper Sito, which then means Tato Jordan, right? Yeah, I would assume that would be the case if that's how things are panning out here. Now, my coverage of the event will be a bit spotty. I mean, it has been up to this point. I got to see if I could find time for the quarters. I think that semis day, I'm away with friends for a bit of a Friendsgiving type deal, but we'll be doing the final for sure. Probably the third place match as well. We'll see if we could do the quarters. That's ultimately going to come down to, do I miss community games or not? But again, I'm assuming, let's see if Liquipedia gets updated. No one's updating Liquipedia. I think that's the way the results look, or what the brackets will look like. Format is weird. Jordan played against only one top 8, and DauT played against 4. DauT had a really rough road. DauT played against ACCM. DauT played against Hera. DauT played against Leary. DauT played against Jordan. And then DauT played against Villese. But it's the way it's formatted is through 5 rounds in the group stage to decide your fate. And I don't think you can look at DauT's results and say that he didn't play good enough to win. Like, this wasn't a massive mismatch. The DauT Leary wasn't a massive mismatch. He just needed one more win. Yeah. And I guess that would mean all the Gamer Legion players are in the bottom half of the bracket. And then obviously Leary and Hera, up against each other in the quarters. Dang.